Coronavirus disease is an infectious disease discovered in 2019. The first human cases of COVID-19 were reported by officials in Wuhan City, China in December 2019. This virus started to grow all over the world until 4th of February 2020, the first Malaysian was confirmed with COVID-19. People who are physically near a person with COVID-19 or have direct contact with that person are at greatest risk of infection. When people with COVID-19 cough, sneeze, or breathe, they produce respiratory droplets. Infection occurs mainly through exposure to respiratory droplets. COVID-19 can sometimes be spread by airborne transmission. These viruses may be able to infect people who are further than 6 feet away from the person who is infected, or after that person has left the space. COVID-19 spreads less commonly through contact with contaminated surfaces. Respiratory droplets can also land on surfaces and objects. It is possible that a person could get COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it. Alright guys, the best way to prevent illness is to avoid being exposed to this virus. Stay at least 3 away from others whenever possible. Cover your mouth and nose with a mask when around others. Wash your hands often with soap and water.
Next, we focus about university students' feelings. University students found themselves forced to cope with new emotional challenges and particularly with feeling shock, over worries and fears. That feelings will affect their behavior and emotions. So, now I'm going to explain their behavior affected from their feelings. First, lost control. Why? This is because, as we know, the virus from Wuhan, China. So, the virus was far away and they were immune from it. When the epidemic got closer reaching our country, their sense of shock and serious concern rose. Second, regulating the road. There were over and various adjustments to do new reality. It is very hard for them how they internalize these guidelines and made changes to their familiar lifestyle. Lastly, but not least, it is hard to fall asleep and harder to get up in the morning. Why? Because their concern and fears comes affected their behavior and emotions. They concern about their own health and help their loved ones.
Since Movement Control Order (MCO) was declared on 18 March 2020, Malaysian population was confined to a long period of social isolation. The unprecedented rules had significantly altered the lifestyles and social relationships between the people, and had presumably developed deep levels of mental health. Firstly, anxiety disorder. Students who were staying alone experienced the highest level of anxiety to do staying with family and friends, as it is to staying alone are usually away from their loved ones, and the sudden threat to their safety and security during this pandemic could have made these students to feel lonelier and pose challenges from multiple angles. Secondly is depression. Depression is caused by overstress. Stress can be positive, such as when it helps you avoid danger or meet a deadline. But when stress lasts for a long time, it may harm your health and lead to depression. Students who are dependent on jobs to support themselves or their families may be particularly vulnerable to depression and worry due to economic hardships. As uncertainties about the future continue, this may lead to worsening mental health status, particularly among young individuals.
As COVID-19 cases increase, people are being requested to stay at home to self-quarantine. In some countries, stores where individuals are normally active will remain temporarily closed. Lots of people have lost work, cannot carry responsibility, and grappled with social isolation. Experts have warned of a alarming wave of mental illness, depression, anxiety, and suicide thinking substantially higher than previous years. Self-quarantine leads to negative effects, especially on health. It also causes additional stress and provokes mental health. Cope is a process of responding effectively to difficulties. To cope well is to respond to the threat in ways that minimize its damaging impact. Coping can involve many different strategies and it's likely you have your own preferred ones. Physical activity and experiencing nature can offer some protection from depression during the pandemic. People are recommended to do physical activities that can still be achieved even at home with no special equipment and with limited space. First, take short active breaks during the day. Short bouts of physical activity add to the weekly recommendations. You may use the suggested exercise below as inspiration to be active every day. Dancing, playing with children, and performing domestic chores such as cleaning and gardening to stay active at home. Second, follow an online exercise class. Take advantage of the wealth of online exercise classes. Many of these are free and can be found on YouTube. If you have no experience performing this exercise, be cautious and aware of your own limitations. Third, walk. Even in small space, walking around or walking on the spot can help you remain active. If you have a cold, stand or walk around your home while you speak, instead of sitting down. If you decide to go outside to work or exercise, be sure to maintain at least a 1 meter distance from other people. And the lastly is relax. Meditation and deep breaths can help you remain calm. A few examples of relaxation techniques are available below of inspiration.